Hello and welcome back to James Talk Sport. La Vuelta is a week old. As we head towards the first race day, I'm going to take a look back on week one and see who's up there and riding well for GC, who the first week is favoured, who needs to improve, and other talking points of week one of La Vuelta. A year ago, Fabienjakobson had come out of an induced coma following his horror crash in the Tour of Poland. Today, he is one of the fastest men in a bike race, and he is competing with an Alpecin to win the sprint stages as well as the points jersey as well. He showed that he could return to racing. Then he showed that he could return to win races at Wallonie, and now he is winning on the big stage, in which is arguably his biggest show and his best form of his life so far. Um, Fantastic to see Jakobson. Can he stay in the race and win stages and compete for that green jersey against Phillipson and any other GC riders? Alongside Jakobsen as one of the fastest sprinters in the race, you've got Jasper Phillipson at Alpecin, who continues Alpecin's fantastic run in the opening weeks of a Grand Tour. Stage two, he won in a fantastic sprint, fantastically well timed sprint and position sprint. And a few days later, he won another stage to take a bit more control of that points jersey. Him versus Jakobsen is going to be a very fun battle to watch, as they are two up and coming sprinters, both in very different ways. The first week in terms of GC has been tailor made to Primoz Roglic, and he has taken advantage of that, building 25-second lead over his nearest contender in Enric Mas. He has 41 on Egan Bernal, and he is looking in absolutely fantastic form. Yes, question marks over his team, who are struggling to control the race, and also will he be able to compete with Movistar and Ineos on the longer and the multiple climbing stages? But at the moment, he is looking in great form and looking very tough to beat in La Vuelta Espana. Alongside Roglic in the summit finishes that we have had, or the finishes we have had, Egan Bernal has looked good, but not brilliant, tailoring his effort for the third week. He sits at 41 seconds. Mas and Lopez from Movistar have looked very strong. They are 25 and 29 seconds down on Roglic. And probably the next best contender is Adam Yates. Yes, he lost time on one of the stages, but he has been looking great as well. Those are probably the five riders that I think can win the race. So they will need to look to be aggressive to beat Primoz Roglic before that time trial in Santiago. Those are the riders that I think can still win the race. The riders that I think are now out of that battle for red. Mikel Landa lost a lot of time throughout this first week. He's not looked quite as good as he did in Burgos. Hugh Carthy, the same. I think he must be ill for them to allow Magnus Cort to win on that short, steep stage and then to drop out of the race on Friday as well. Giulio Ciccone, kind of expected. He is looking pretty good for a top 10 result. Those are probably the biggest losers. Obviously, Valverde's gone home. Some Movistar have got one domestique less. Sorry, so they have a lot of work to do if they are to try and get into that battle for the podium at this Vuelta Espana.